Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Gyan Vigyan. In this channel, today we will discuss a new topic, units and measurement. So let's first know what is unit. So in our physical world, any physical quantity is measured in compared to a reference standard, and this reference standard is internationally accepted, and this is called a unit. In our physical world, we have a large number of physical quantity which has to be measured with the help of this unit. Okay, so basically units are classified as fundamental units and then derived units. So what is fundamental units? In our physical world, we have a large number of physical quantities, but only a limited number of units are required to measure these quantities. So these units are independent to each other. So these independent units are known as fundamental units. So these fundamental units are length, mass, and time. And another units are classified as derived units. These derived units is the combination of different fundamental units. That means what? Derived units are dependent on the fundamental units. We can measure a physical quantity with the help of length, mass, and time. Combination of length, mass, and time. Okay, so this is the basic difference between fundamental units and derived unit. That means what? Fundamental units are independent to each other, but derived units are always dependent on length, mass, time, that is on fundamental units. We have various number of derived units regarding force, area, volume, pressure, energy, etc. So fundamental units are classified into four system of units. So what is system of units? These fundamental units and derived units combinedly known as system of units. So we have four types of system of units. One is MKS system, another is CGS system, then FPS system, and last one is SI system. So what is MKS system? Under this MKS system, the unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kilogram, and unit of time is second. So meter, kilogram, second are the fundamental units of length, mass, and time respectively. So, and then there is another unit of system, and this is called CGS system, where the unit of length is centimeter, unit of mass is gram, and unit of time is second. And then other is FPS system, where unit of length is foot, unit of mass is pound, and unit of time is second. Nowadays FPS system is not used. Generally MKS system and CGS systems are used in different field and to measure different physical quantities. Another system of unit is SI system, and SI system is the international system of unit, and this system of units was developed and recommended by General Conference on Weights and Measure in 1971, and these units are used in scientific, technical, industrial and commercial field, where besides the three fundamental units, that is meter, kilogram and second, we have another some other fundamental units which are used in our physical world to measure different physical quantities. So these all total 7 fundamental units under the SI unit system, and these are meter for length, kilogram for mass, second for time, and new fundamental units under SI system are ampere for current, Kelvin for temperature, candela for luminous intensity, mole for amount of substance, and then radian for plane angle and steradian for solid angle. So these are the altogether 7 fundamental units which are under this internationally accepted system, SI system, and nowadays generally these SI systems are used in our physical world for measurement. Okay, so let's see now how we derive different units with the help of fundamental units, because derived units are always dependent on the fundamental units. Okay, so let's see how derived units are we can get derived units with the help of fundamental units. First of all, suppose we have to measure the area of an object. Then what? Area is dependent on length. That means to find out the area of a object, we should know the length and breadth of the object. So length and breadth both are basically two lengths. Okay, so therefore we have the unit for length and then the unit for breadth. Breadth is also basically a length. That means what? We have to know the two lengths of the object to find out the area. So the unit for area is L square. That means what? L is already we know L is the length, and length is a fundamental unit. So here we use two fundamental units to find out the length of the area. So that's why area the unit of area is L square. So this L square area is a derived unit. Again, volume. Suppose we have to measure the volume of an object. To find out the volume of an object, we have to know its length, breadth and height. So these length, breadth and height are also basically units of length. Okay, so therefore we have to use here the fundamental units length 3 times to find out the volume of an object. Okay, so therefore units of volume is L cube, and this L cube is derived with the help of these fundamental units for length L. So that's why L cube is the derived unit for volume. Similarly, we can use measure or we can develop the derived unit for velocity, and we know velocity is defined as the ratio between distance and time. Okay, so velocity is defined as the distance covered by a body for a particular time period. So therefore velocity is defined as distance by time. So here distance is again a length. So therefore the unit of distance is L and the unit of time is T. So here we use two fundamental units which is for length and time, L and T, and therefore we get the unit for velocity as L T to the power minus 1. So this unit for velocity is a derived unit because it is derived with the help of two fundamental units L and T. So that's why we can say that derived units are dependent on the fundamental units. Okay. Similarly, we can derive the units for different physical quantities with the help of the fundamental units. Okay. So next, let's see another important point regarding the measurement of physical quantities, and this is the term dimension. We should know before going to measure a physical quantity, we should know what is the dimension of the quantity. So dimension is the power of the physical quantity which gives which represent the physical quantity, or we can say dimension is the power of the fundamental units in terms of which the physical quantity can be represented. Okay, so the power of fundamental units in terms of which a physical quantity can be represented is known as dimension. Okay, so let's see some example of dimension. This is a piece of length. Okay, so this we can use to measure this piece. We can use the fundamental unit length. Okay, so therefore this distance from the initial point, from this point to this point, this distance is basically a length. Okay, so this length is the dimension of this object. Okay, so these two represent the dimension of a physical quantity. We have to use this square bracket. We have to use this square bracket around the physical quantity. So this distance from this point to this point, this distance is the unit of length. Therefore, and the power of this unit L, we have the power is 1. Therefore, we can say that dimension of this object is 1. Okay, so that therefore we can express it as distance is equal to length is equal to L to the power 1. It should be remembered that dimension always enclosed within the closed bracket. Okay, next see another example. This is an object A where you can see there is a length and there is a breadth. Okay, this L length and breadth, both two are basically length. That means what? We here we know two length. Okay, so if you want to find out the area of this object, then you have to multiply these two lengths, L and breadth. This L multiplied by L for breadth gives you L square within the within the square bracket. Okay, so here power of the L is 2. Therefore, we can say the area has 2 dimensions. Okay, 2 dimension means what? You see here, this is L and this is again L, breadth. So this object A is spread over the space in 2 directions. Dimension means what? How the object is spread over the space. In how many directions the object is the space is occupied by the object. Okay, so here the space is occupied in 2 directions by the object A. So therefore, we have got the dimension of this object as 2L square. L square means 2 is the power over the fundamental unit L. Therefore, 2 is the dimension, and this dimension means what? This body is spreading over the space in 2 directions. So that's why area has 2 dimensions. Then again, if you want to find out the volume of an object, then what will happen? This body has a length in this direction, has a length in this direction, and has a length in this direction. That means what? This body is occupying space in 3 directions. One is length, then height, and then breadth. So it has space, it is occupying space in 3 directions. Okay, so let's see what will be the dimension of this object. This is volume. When you have to calculate the volume of an object, you should know the length, breadth, and height of the object, which gives you L to the power 3. This 3 is the dimension of the volume. That means what? You can find out the volume of a body if it is 3 dimensional. Okay, that means what? If you place the body in space, then it will spread over 3 directions. So this is the dimension of volume. Similarly, you can find out the dimension of velocity also, where dimension of distance is L, dimension of time is T, and it gives equal to L to the power L T to the power minus 1. So L T to the power minus, this is the dimension of velocity. In this way, you can find out the dimension of different physical quantities. Okay, if you know the dimension of the fundamental units related to the given physical quantity, then you can easily find out the dimension of that particular quantity. Okay, let's see again dimensional analysis. If you know the dimension of the physical quantity, then you have to know what is dimensional analysis. So according to under this dimensional analysis, we should first know the dimensional formula. Already we discussed about the dimension of physical quantities. Okay, So what was dimension? Dimension is the power of fundamental units in terms of which you can represent the quantity. Okay, so this is the dimension. Now what is dimensional formula? Okay, already we have discussed that in fundamental units we have length, mass and time. So dimensional formula can be represented in terms of this length, mass and time. So what is the dimension of the given quantity in terms of mass, in terms of length, in terms of times? Altogether this can be expressed with the help of this dimensional formula. So dimensional formula is an expression of a physical quantity to show how and which fundamental quantities are used to make that particular physical quantity. Okay, that means what? Already you have seen in that the area can be derived as L into L. That means what? Area has the dimension L square. Here only the fundamental unit L is used, but in case of velocity we have here dimension as L t to the power minus 1. Here you can see two fundamental units L and T are used. Okay, so different to measure different physical quantities you have to use different fundamental units. So the dimensional formula gives you the idea which fundamental units are used or how they are used to represent the given physical quantity. So this is the advantage of dimensional formula, because with the help of dimensional formula you can know how and which fundamental units are used in your given physical quantity. Okay, so let's see some dimensional formula. Here this is distance. Distance means what? L. To know the distance we should only know the fundamental unit L. And to express distance as dimensional formula you should use this M and T also, because generally dimensional formula are expressed in terms of M, L and T, but distance is only measured with the help of the length. Okay, here this distance is independent of mass and time. Therefore the dimension of distance in terms of mass is 0 and dimension of distance in terms of time is also 0. That's why the dimensional formula of distance can be written as m to the power 0, L to the power 1 and T to the power 0. Okay, similarly velocity can be written like this. We know the dimension of velocity is L t to the power minus 1. L t to the power minus 1, this is the dimension of velocity, and this velocity is independent of mass. That's why the dimensional formula of velocity will be L to the power 1, m to the power 0 and T to the power minus 1. So any physical quantity can be expressed in terms of fundamental units with the help of their dimension. Okay, so next one is acceleration is velocity divided by time. So if you find out the derived unit of acceleration, then you can, acceleration is termed as a is equal to v by t. Already you have know the dimension of velocity as L t minus 1. This is the dimension of velocity, and here again t. Okay, so therefore you have got this L and t to the power minus 2, because here t is again comes in the expression a. Therefore you got L to the power 1 t to the power minus 2 for acceleration. Okay, this is the derived unit for acceleration. And if you show acceleration in terms of dimensional formula, then you can use m as m to the power 0, because acceleration is independent of mass. So for acceleration, the dimensional formula will be L to the power 1, m to the power 0, and t to the power minus 2. Okay, so these are the dimensional formula for distance, velocity, and acceleration. You can find out dimensional formula for different physical quantities. Okay, just you should know the units of the given quantity, then express it in terms of the fundamental units and within the square bracket, then it will give you the dimensional formula. So under dimensional analysis, another important thing is dimensional equation. Already we have we know the dimension of a quantity, dimensional formula of a quantity, and another important thing is dimensional equation. Okay, so dimensional formula is the dimension of the physical quantity in terms of fundamental units within the square bracket. If you represent like this, then it will give you the dimensional formula. But dimensional equation is when you equate the dimensional formula with the physical quantity, then it will give you the dimensional formula. That means what? It is the relation which equates a physical quantity to its dimensional formula. Okay, let's see. We know for volume, dimension was, already we have discussed, for volume dimension was L to the power 3. So 3 is the dimension of volume. Okay, so for volume, what will be the dimensional formula? This is m to the power 0, L to the power 3, t to the power 0. Okay, this is the dimensional formula of volume, because volume is independent of m, therefore m to the power 0, independent of t, therefore t to the power 0. Okay, this is the dimensional formula. This dimensional formula, when equates with the physical quantity, then this will give you the dimensional equation. Okay, so here this is dimensional formula. V equal to m to the power 0, L to the power 3, t to the power 0. Similarly, you can find out dimensional formula for force is equal to m L t to the power minus 2. So how you can find out this m L t to the power minus 2? For this, you should know what is force. Force is expressed as F is equal to m into a. Okay, m is the mass, a is the acceleration of the body. So m the m dimension of m is what? Simply m. And for acceleration, what was the dimension? Already we have discussed. A is again expressed as v by t. Okay, so here you have got m into, for v the dimension was lt to the power minus 1, and then again here t. Okay, so from this you will get m l t to the power minus 2. So this is the expression for m, and f is equal to m l t to the power minus 2. This is the dimensional formula for the quantity force. Then again work done, pressure, like this. So different types of physical quantity you will encounter in your physical world, which can be expressed in terms of dimensional formula, dimensional equation. Okay, next is, what is the importance of dimensional analysis? Okay, here till now we have discussed about units, different types of units, classification of units, and then dimension, and then dimensional formula, okay, and then dimensional equation. These all are required, all are very important to measure the physical quantities in our experiment, in our commercial work, in our technical world. Okay, so this dimensional analysis has some great importance in our different processes, and the first importance is, with the help of dimensional analysis we can test the correctness of an equation. Okay, so how we can we can check whether the given formula is correct or not. This can be checked with the help of this dimensional formula. Okay, so if you have an dimensional formula, then substitute the dimension of each and every term of the equation, and then simplify all the dimensional formula, and then you have got an conclusion of the dimension on the both side. If the dimension or unit of both the side is same, then you can say that the dimensional equation is correct, because always we know that same the quantity of same unit can be operated. That means what? Quantity of same unit can be added, can be subtracted, can be multiplied, can be divided. Okay, so only an operation can be done over the quantities which has the same unit. Okay, so if in an equation there is a quantity, there is a term which has some different unit, then after the dimensional analysis, that means after putting the dimensional formula on each and every term of the equation, then the last result will be different, comes out as some different units, and which is not physically acceptable. Okay, so therefore this is the most important point of dimensional analysis. That means we can check with the help of this dimensional equation, we can check the correctness of the equation of the physical quantities. So another importance is we can derive the equation of some given quantities with the help of this dimensional analysis. Suppose you have given some quantity of a system and you have to find out the equation with which the system can be represented. So then with the help of this dimensional analysis you can arrive at the equation under which the system is operating and the system is existing. Okay, so to derive relation among some given physical quantities, we can use the dimensional equation. For this, to derive this relation between the given quantities, we should know dimension of each and every term given in your system. Okay, so these are the importance of dimensional analysis. Thanks for watching this video. Okay, in our next video we will discuss some numerical problem relating to dimensional analysis, relating to units, dimensional formula and dimensional analysis. Okay, thank you.